Jamaica. Sign on, rock on, roll on, jump on, whatever you gotta do. Just ensure that you are on the live right now. Now today inside Body Talk, we bring you some Christmas tips with Corporal Kester Fennel. I forgot his last name, right? We are the family station, of course, and we care about your well-being as you go about your business this Christmas season. Now, Corporal Fennel has been a member of the JCF for over 13 years. He's currently attached to the St. Catherine North Community Safety and Security Branch. He's a domestic violence intervention manager and a corporate communication liaison for the division. If you don't know, he has all the tips, tricks, and hacks that we need for this Yuletide season. Hi, good afternoon to you, Corporal. I hope I got your last name right. Corporal Fennel?
Good afternoon to you. And yes, you did get it right. It's Fennel.
Fennel. Wonderful, wonderful. How are you?
Well, today I am good. Just a little bit busy.
Oh, I can just imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that you're at work now because I see you're in your uniform.
Definitely so.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and, talk about Christmas safety tips and those things. Right. So, yeah. No,
it's our pleasure. And we're always happy to share information with our citizens, especially those that help to make them harder targets for criminals.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Now, what advice do you have for people carrying large sum of money during this Christmas time?
Well, the first advice I would give to them is don't. If you don't have to, don't carry large sums of money. Utilize online platforms, wire transfers. Those are your best options at this time. We know that, criminals always find ingenious ways. Even whilst your money is in the bank, they will still find a way to get to it. But It's safer for you if you don't have large sums of cash. It's more secure. And if it is that the circumstance dictates that you must travel with large sums of cash, try not to keep it all in one place. So what you do is you split the money up into smaller portions and you place them in different places. So like different pockets, your handbag. For our Jamaican ladies, we know from back in the days, the ladies tuck it in the bosom. So those things still work. So if you do have to travel with large sums of cash, those are just some ingenious ways that you can utilize to ensure that should, God forbid, the situation arise where, criminals try to take it from you, they may not get all of it.
Wonderful. And then I love how you say you can tuck it in your bosom for the ladies, and especially you wear your clothes like this dress that I have on, it's to my neck, so that's perfect. Right. You just cover it, and it's hard.
There you go. Nobody will know that it's there.
Yeah, nobody will know, right? But for my listeners, so they probably they wear their blouse or something or their tops low. You have to ensure you tuck it in properly. All right. All right. Now, thieves normally utilize motorcycles. They call them the yen. They call them, right? To carry out criminal activities. What should you do if you're being followed by a motorcycle?
All right. Well, one of the first things that you have to do is learn to observe your surroundings. And not just for motorcycles, but if you find that you're being followed at all, try to find a very public space, a place that has a lot of people, a lot of activity taking place, and try to get there. If you find that you're being followed by a motorcycle and you're driving, get to the nearest police station. That's the best advice I can give you. If you're being followed, do not go home or to your expected destination. Go to a place that is public where there's a lot of people, so it will deter those criminals from taking any form of action. And if you can get to the nearest police station, go there.
Thank you so much, Corporal Fennel. Now, what are the precautionary measures one can take when utilizing the ATMs? Because we know, say, ATMs, those are hot spots,
Definitely.
Yeah, so what can we?
One of the first things I want to tell persons is that don't use the most lonely ATMs. I know that when you go to ATMs, those lines can be very tedious, they can be very long. But believe me, you're safer where there are more persons. That much I can tell. Those ATMs that are in places that tend to be kind of docile or lonely, those ATMs are prime targets for criminals. So you want to go there because you're thinking that you want to get through faster. But the
Yeah.
question is it safe?
Yeah. Is it safe? And it's not safe to do that alone. The lonely roads, not good. They're not good.
All right. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Am I being heard again?
Yes, yes. I'm hearing you. So you were saying the
Yes,
lonely.
yes.
Yes, are you hearing
Okay.
me? Oh, you're hearing me now. I'm hearing you, Corporal.
I'm hearing you, but there is some disturbance in the connection.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, is this better?
Yeah, there's some amount of disturbance in the connection. Uh, all right. I was hearing you a little bit better earlier, but if I may just continue, if you are hearing me, I could just continue for the purpose of the show.
Yes.
So as I was saying, when it comes down to ATMs, one of the things that you always have to do when you get inside, ensure you lock the door behind you. Do not go in there and leave that ATM door open that anybody can get access to you, because criminals will come inside there with you and force you to withdraw all of your funds, or at least whatever the maximum amount is that you can get for that day. Criminals will force you to withdraw it and hand it over to them. So when you get inside of the ATM, lock your doors. When it comes onto your receipts, do not just throw your receipts into the bin. Your receipts contain information about your account. It gives a balance of what is in your account. And so you don't want that information being given to criminals. So if you're going to dispose of your receipt, you want to clear it up rather than just dumping it in the bin. All right?
Wow.
Got all
I
of that.
wow. I did not know that. Like, thank you for that, Corporal Fennel. Thank you. Now, since children will most likely be at home during this holiday season, how can we help them remain safe?
All right. One of the things that we can do to help them remain safe is to teach our children some key safety tips. First of all, we know that for this holiday, while most parents are at work, sometimes their children are going to be at home for some period of time by themselves. And so you want to ensure that these children are not on the outside. They don't come out to strangers. Persons might come to the gate showing up to be either water commission personnel, JPS personnel, or some other utility company personnel. You don't want your children going out to any of them because you don't know. These could be criminals in disguise. So you
Yes.
want to ensure that your children learn that they do not go out to anyone, they stay inside. If it is that you, as a parent, or is sending anyone to the home, previous communication must be made with the child so that the child can understand that there is somebody that's coming, and therefore they would expect this person. Persons don't just pop up on your children. It's also important for you to have codes, things that children can use to understand when there is danger. So they can send signals to each other, they can send signals to you. You want to ensure that they can reach you quickly and you can reach them quickly. It's also good to have neighbors, trusted neighbors, give an eye on them, because you don't just want to choose any neighbor. We understand how things are these days, and children can be very vulnerable, and persons too can be wolf in sheep's clothing, if we
Yes.
may call it so. So you want to ensure that you have a trusted neighbor to help to keep an eye on your children whilst they're at home for the holidays.
Oh, thank you. And what are some of the things that would normally draw thieves to our homes?
All right. One of the most common practices for most of us in Jamaica is that when it comes down to Christmas season, we tend to change out a lot of our appliances.
That's
So we
true.
get new TVs, new stereos, etc. Computers, whatever it is, you name it, we get them. And then what we do is the packaging, we just dispose of the packaging right in our garbage bin. And
Yes, and
what that does is it tells a criminal that there is a new appliance here that I might find interesting. And
yeah,
so you want to ensure that when you're disposing of the packaging, you don't dispose of it in such a way where it is obvious to criminals. So you want to be very mindful about what is in your garbage because believe it or not, criminals do rummage through garbage to
oh,
find things that can indicate what they might find in a premises. So that is one of the things that attract thieves. Also, whenever you have a lot of persons coming in, especially persons from overseas. Whenever you have persons from overseas, they have to be mindful about how they dress, how they travel, when they go to places, and how it is that they are spending their money. A lot of times when foreigners come here or we have our family members staying at our homes,
yeah.
they tend to want to spend lavishly. And that can be an indication to criminals that this is somebody that I could probably profit from if I attempt to rob them. So,
Mm,
anything that attracts their attention, you want to try the packaging at your homes for the appliances that you're going to
yeah.
purchase for this holiday. Don't dispose of them in your garbage like that. You want to ensure that you pay keen attention to your spending pattern. And if you have foreigners that are here, you have to be mindful about them and the things that they do because they will attract criminals as well.
Wonderful. So where can we or how can we dispose of those packaging then if not, outside? Because some areas we can't burn.
That's right. We know that burning in communities, that's against the law. And so, what we'd recommend, if you can dispose of it in garbage bags, got sealed garbage bags. So, if most of those packages are cardboard, so you can cut them up, tear them up, and dispose of them in bags. Don't just dispose of the packaging in its full
Wow.
state as how you received it. So, you want to tear it up and bag them in garbage bags so that they are easier for the garbage truck, one, and two, they don't expose what you have at home. Also, you
Oh,
want to also think about the appliances that you're going to throw out. Don't just throw them out like that. So that is also something to pay attention to. The old appliances
mm.
that you throw out.
All right. Then in that case, what do we do with the old appliances? We have to get somebody to come and pick it up.
Well, what you can do, no, what you can do is you can either, if you can take it to the dump yourself, or if you can hold it for a while, because this is what we call the silly season, and persons are looking out for these things at this time. So if you can even hold on to them for a little while, and then you dispose of them at a later time, that would also be smart.
Oh, you call it the silly season? That's what you just said, Corporal? Corporal?
I am not hearing you at this time.
All right. Are you hearing me now? You hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Okay,
Yes.
I was wondering if you said silly season. That's what we call it, silly season?
Yes, this at this time of the year, this is what we call the silly season, where a lot of
Oh,
silly things tend to happen. If you observe over the years, one of the things that we've seen is that usually over the Christmas period, there is usually an upsurge in crime such as robberies and
yes.
house breakings, etc. As well as we also see a lot more accidents on the road because persons are going out more, they're going to a lot of festivities, they are drinking more, all of these things are taking place, and so a lot of things that would not be so frequent before starts to happen in this season, and so we kind of refer to it as a silly season.
Silly season. Okay, first time I'm hearing about that. The longer you live, the longer you learn. No, when out
That's
shopping,
right.
because yes, went out shopping because you know a lot of persons are going out to do their Christmas shopping and they want to change out all the sheets and the curtains and all of those things. So when shoppers are
That's
shopping,
right.
what are some things that they can look out for?
All right. When you're out shopping, it's good to pay attention to persons who are loitering around the spaces that you're shopping in. Good. You want to pay attention to your surroundings. You need to observe if it is that you're being followed. If you're moving from store to store, is it that each time I go into a store, I'm seeing a particular individual popping up or wherever I am? That could be an indication that you're being watched and you're being followed. So persons are paying attention to see what it is that you're buying, how much it is that you're spending, whether you're using cash or card, etc. So these are things that you have to pay attention to. You also have to ensure that you're purchasing from reputable businesses. You know,
Yes.
at this time, persons who want to get deal. And getting the best deal sometimes mean that you're gonna go to a little man around the corner that you really don't know, and you know you really don't know if you're going there to get what you intend to get. But you heard of a price and that price attracts you. And
Yeah.
so you leave that public space to go to that private place where you can get that better deal. The reality is that it may not really be a better deal that you're going there for, but you're going there to become a victim of a crime. So ensure that you shop at reputable businesses, observe your surroundings, pay attention to persons who may be popping up in stores wherever you are. One of the things you also have to do is to be mindful about your cards that you're using. Do not allow store clerks to go out of your presence with your cards, your debit or credit cards. All right, because they do have machines that can take your information.
Wow. And also, being that I was a victim of this, the online shopping for buying furniture and appliances,
Right,
you have to be very careful because I remember this incident where the person, because I didn't trust them, and they showed me a business
right,
certificate with a name, and they sent me an ID with the name to match everything, and I thought it was legit. It was not. It was something made up, and they scammed me. So I'm just saying, people of God, be very careful for the online shopping. You must be able to
that's
you
right.
can go to that physical location or you can call and check to see. They weren't answering their phone, but I called the police close to the area that they said they were, and the police said no,
Mhm.
nothing like that is here. But that it was too late at that time. So
There you go. You know, it's always wise to verify information whenever you are doing online shopping. You have to not just look for the web pages that are set up or the fake documents that they're going to send you trying to validate their business, but you want to also try and check to find out the physical location. If it is once you are given an address, what you can do, one of the things persons can do now is to check that address on Google Maps to see what comes up. You understand? If you know someone that's in the area, or as well as the police, if you know the police station that is in charge of that area, you can always check with them to find out if there is in fact such a business that exists there or what
yes,
exists at location. Because in many cases, these addresses that they're using for these fake businesses, in many cases they're empty lots. When persons turn up there, they just go there, go see an empty lot, and that's the reality that we face. So persons have to be mindful about shopping online. And the truth is too that there are certain things that you really don't want to try to buy online from places that you don't know any you don't have any reputation, you don't have any information about. How do you verify what it is that they say that they are selling? How do you verify that before you pay your hard-earned money over to them? So
yeah.
these are things that we have to be mindful
And yeah, be very careful. And I wouldn't want that to happen to anyone
at that
else.
time.
Yeah,
Not at
yeah.
all.
Tell you. And they kept on changing their name on Instagram. And they blocked
There
down
you
all of
go.
those things.
And Instagram now is becoming one of those platforms that is very prevalent when it comes down to these online scams. You know,
Yes.
persons are shopping more on Instagram now. and persons are creating fake pages for businesses on Instagram now. So persons really have to be careful when they are doing online shopping.
That's true. And if you see that they're hasting you up and say, tell me when you send the money, as soon as you send it, let me know. That's an indication to say no. No.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely,
All
definitely.
right. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for that again. Now, are there any do's and don'ts for when people are going out to events?
All right. One of the things that usually happens at many events is that you go, you park your car, and when you return, all you see is a spot.
Oh my God.
A lot of car thefts do take place at some events. So you want to be mindful about parking. If you're going to an event and there is no proper parking facility made for the
Yeah.
patrons, then you might want to reconsider. Or if you are still going to go, try and find a location that has some level of security to park there. Try and find some location with some level of security and park there. And if it is that you have to park, try and check on your vehicle periodically. That is
Yes.
what you must do. Check on your vehicle periodically. You also want to consider, persons are going out. Alcohol consumption is going to be one of the big things for the Christmas. Be mindful of your limit. Don't overdo it. You understand? We know that drinking under the influence is a crime, and so we're hoping that persons who are going out and intend to drink have a designated driver so that they can get home safely and they can stay within the bounds of the law. But persons at the end of the day still have to know the limits. So if you're going out to to parties or whatever activities you're going out to do this holiday, you want to ensure that you check your location, see what vulnerabilities exist, you know, check the background of the place as it relates to events.
Thank you. Now, based on your years of experience, what are some things you see happening every year as a corporal?
All right. One of the things that I see happening every year, and I mentioned some of them earlier, is that at this time of the year, we tend to find more break-ins, more robberies. So even in places where it never used to happen, it starts happening. And one of the reasons for that is everybody at this time of the year wants something new. It's almost customary for Jamaicans that once it comes down to Christmas, you want to get rid of some old things in your house and get in some new stuff. And it's no different for the criminals. They want to do the same thing too. The difference is for most of us as law-abiding citizens, we're going to be using our hard-earned money to do it. For them,
Yes.
to take our hard-earned money to do it for themselves. And so they are going to be coming out and they are going to be looking for every opportunity in order to rob or to steal or get whatever it is that they want. There, to every crime, there are three elements. You have the perpetrator, you have the victim, and you have the opportunity. The truth is that only one of those three you can maintain control over. You can't stop yourself from becoming a victim because you're made a victim by the perpetrator who sees you that way. And you can't stop the perpetrator because they've already decided on their course of action. The
Yeah.
only thing that you can do is take away the opportunity.
Opportunity.
And if you opportunity, then there can be no crime. Now, what we want persons to do is to become more security conscious. Be more aware of your surroundings. Don't be walking on the road with your earphones plugged in, down in your phone, going about your business, not paying attention to your surroundings, because that is one of the things that makes you an easy target. If you're driving out there on the road, we encourage persons to keep your doors locked. Lock your doors. Many times out there in traffic, criminals just come up, open your door, and they're inside of the car with you, or they're taking whatever they want out of it. Don't expose things that you have. Handbags. If you're locking up your car, you know that your windows aren't tinted, or even if it is tinted, they can still see inside on some level. You want to tuck your handbags on the floor where they are harder to see. Laptops, phones, tablets, those things, don't leave them on car seats where they are easily visible to persons who may want to take them. All right. So some of the things that we see happening every year is that robberies go up because the criminals are going harder to get what it is that they want. And the
Yes.
persons have to become more security conscious. Even at home, you have to pay attention to how you do things at home. For many persons, we understand that the JPS bill can be very excessive at times.
Yeah,
And so we
man.
don't lights on, especially our outside lights. But it's very important for us to keep our outside lights on because if something is happening on the outside, we're able to see out there and we
Yeah.
are able to observe our surrounding and what might be taking place out there. So persons want to, turn the lights on, cut the pepper lights, but keep your outside lights on.
Oh, thank you so much. Lots of information, and I know that our listeners they appreciated every single word. Thank you so much again, Corporal Fennel.
Thank you for having me. It
Thank
was
you.
a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you again for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us and educate us on things that we need to know, how to, remain safe during this Yuletide season. Thank you again.
And thank you. Have a great one.
You're welcome. Thank you. You too. And that was Corporal Kester Fennel. Yeah. He has been a member of the JCF for over 13 years. And currently attached to the St. Catherine North Community Safety and Security Branch. He's also the Domestic Violence Intervention Manager and the Corporate Communication Liaison for the division. Educated, right? I know you were educated. Me too. This is Love 101 FM, the family station. Reminding you that you can always go back on the live if you missed it or you want to write down some tips. We went live, so you can always stream that again. You can always watch it again. I gotta pay some bills. This is Love 101 FM.